You wake up to a quiet city, not silent, just calm. The air is warm, already heavy with the promise of another hot day. Light spills gently across tiled rooftops as Pompeii begins to stir. Wooden shutters open slowly. Footsteps echo softly on stone streets, polished smooth by generations of use. Mount Vesuvius stands in the distance. Still, unmoving, ordinary. No one looks at it for long. You smell bread baking nearby. Smoke rises lazily from small ovens. Somewhere, a merchant greets a neighbor by name. These sounds are familiar, comforting, predictable. You are standing inside Pompeii. It is the year 79 AD, and this is the day before everything ends. But no one knows that. This is not a story about panic or disaster. There are no alarms, no warnings, no sense of urgency. This is a city moving through a normal day, unaware that history has already chosen it. Pompeii is alive. About 12,000 people call this place home. Roman citizens, freedmen, slaves, merchants, craftsmen. Their lives intersect here every day in streets that feel intimate and personal. From above, the city looks orderly. Streets form a careful grid. Houses hide private worlds behind simple doors. From the ground, everything feels close. Familiar. This morning feels like every other. That is what makes it extraordinary. You are not here to witness destruction. You are here to witness life. As the sun rises higher, Pompeii comes fully awake. Inside a Roman home, the atrium fills with light. A small pool of water reflects the sky above. Family members move quietly through the space, beginning their daily routines. Slaves sweep floors and prepare tools. Children linger near columns, still half asleep. Walls are decorated with frescoes, bright colors, mythological scenes, everyday symbols of status and taste. These images are meant to be seen, to impress, to last. Outside, the streets grow busier. Pompeii feels different from Rome, smaller, more personal. You recognize faces as you pass. Shopkeepers raise shutters and arrange goods carefully. Bakers carry loaves from ovens, steam rising into the morning air. Water flows constantly through stone fountains set into the sidewalks. People stop to fill clay vessels. Children play nearby, splashing carelessly. Life spills into the streets without hesitation. Carts roll slowly over stepping stones, designed to keep feet dry when rain floods the road. Grooves worn deep into stone show how long this system has been in use. Everything works. There is no reason to think it ever won't. The mountain remains in the background, framed between rooftops. A familiar shape, a silent neighbor, no smoke, no sound, no warning. Pompeii has lived beside Vesuvius for generations. Today feels no different. As the morning continues, the rhythm of the city becomes clear. Shops fill with customers, wine is poured into cups. Food is weighed in exchange for coins. Deals are made quickly between people who trust one another because they must. Pompeii thrives on movement. Craftsmen work with practiced efficiency. Metal rings against metal. Fabric is measured and cut. The sounds of labor blend into a familiar soundtrack that defines the city. Nearby, public baths begin to fill. These are not just places to wash. They are places to be seen, to talk, to listen. Steam rises as bodies move through warm rooms, voices echoing off stone walls. News travels faster here than anywhere else. Politics, gossip, business. Everything flows through conversation. Pompeii is Roman, but it is also uniquely itself. Wealth and poverty exist side by side. Elegant villas stand only streets away from cramped apartments. Slaves move invisibly through every space, holding daily life together. No one stops to question this order. It is simply how things are. As the day advances, heat builds slowly. The air grows thicker. Movement slows just slightly, as if the city is breathing deeper. Still, nothing feels wrong. Nothing feels urgent. By early afternoon, the heat settles over Pompeii. Stone walls absorb the sun and hold it. The streets feel slower now, not because life has stopped, but because the body demands rest. Movement becomes deliberate. Shadows grow shorter. Voices soften. Inside homes, doors remain open to invite any hint of air. Families retreat from the streets and into shaded rooms. Meals are simple: bread, olives, fruit, watered wine. Nothing extravagant, nothing rushed. In wealthier houses, fountains trickle softly in atriums, cooling the air just enough to matter. Slaves move quietly, careful not to disturb those resting. In smaller homes, people sit close together, sharing space and conversation while waiting for the heat to pass. This pause is familiar. Every summer day feels like this. Outside, the streets are quieter but not empty. A few vendors remain open. Animals stand patiently in the shade. The stepping stones across the roads glow pale under the sun. Mount Vesuvius watches from the distance. Unchanged, unremarkable. No smoke curls from its slopes. No sound breaks the stillness. It has always been there, a part of the landscape, as ordinary as the hills beyond the city. If the ground trembles slightly, no one reacts. Small earthquakes are common here. They always have been. Walls crack, dishes rattle. Life continues. Pompeii has learned to ignore these things. As the afternoon stretches on, the city waits. Not in fear, but in routine. Waiting for the cooler hours. Waiting for the streets to fill again. Nothing suggests that this day is different. Nothing suggests that this pause is the last. Perfeito. Continuando com precisão absoluta. Mantendo o mesmo padrão do vídeo, CNIM, e sem antecipar o desastre. Apenas e sinais sutis que só fazem sentido em retrospecto. As the afternoon wears on, Pompeii slowly returns to motion. Shops reopen. People step back into the streets. The worst of the heat begins to loosen its grip, and the city exhales. Some notice small things. A cup trembles slightly on a table before settling again. Dust falls from a wall where a crack has widened just a little. Somewhere a dog barks suddenly, then goes quiet. No one stops. Small tremors are part of life here. The ground has always shifted beneath Pompeii. After the great earthquake years ago, people rebuilt. They repaired walls, repainted homes, and moved on. The earth moves, life continues. At the fountains, water ripples briefly, then smooths out. Children laugh and keep playing. Adults exchange glances, then return to conversation. There is nothing to be done about the ground beneath your feet. In the streets, carts roll as usual. Hooves strike stone. Coins change hands. A merchant complains about the heat. Another jokes about restless spirits underground. It is said casually, without fear. Mount Vesuvius remains silent. Its slopes look exactly as they did yesterday. Vineyards cling to its sides. Paths wind upward, familiar to shepherds and farmers. Nothing rises from its peak. Nothing suggests danger. If someone feels uneasy, they dismiss it. There is work to finish, meals to prepare. Evening is coming, and with it cooler air. Pompeii has no reason to doubt tomorrow. The city has endured before. It will endure again. That belief is as solid as the stone beneath the streets. And so the day continues. As the sun lowers toward the horizon, Pompeii comes alive again. The worst of the heat fades, and people return to the streets with renewed energy. Shadows stretch across stone pavement. Light turns warm, brushing walls and columns with gold. The city feels lighter now, more social. Shops close for the day. Taverns open their doors. Voices rise. Laughter spills into the streets. Wine is poured. Meals are shared. Friends gather in doorways and along sidewalks, talking about ordinary things. Business, family, plans for tomorrow. Inside homes, lamps are lit one by one. Flames flicker softly against painted walls. Dinner is simple but satisfying. Bread is broken. Olives pass from hand to hand. Children listen as adults talk, half interested, half distracted. In wealthier houses, guests recline for longer meals. Conversation drifts between gossip and philosophy. Someone mentions a tremor earlier in the day, then shrugs it off. The topic changes quickly. No one dwells on it. Outside, the streets glow with lamplight. Footsteps echo more clearly now. Music drifts from somewhere nearby. Pompeii feels close-knit at this hour, like a shared living room under the open sky. Mount Vesuvius fades into silhouette against the evening light. It looks peaceful, harmless, just another part of the landscape. As night settles in, the city relaxes. Doors remain open. People linger longer than they might in a larger city. There is no sense of urgency, No sense of ending. Tomorrow will come. It always does. Pompeii drifts gently into the night, unaware that this calm evening is the last it will ever know. Night settles gently over Pompeii. Oil lamps flicker to life across the city, casting warm circles of light onto stone streets. Shadows deepen between buildings. The noise of the day fades, replaced by softer sounds. Footsteps, distant voices, the occasional laugh drifting from a tavern. Doors close slowly. Families settle in for the night. Bedding is laid out. Lamps are turned low. Conversations quiet down, replaced by the familiar comfort of routine. Children fall asleep quickly, exhausted from the heat and play. Outside, the streets are calm. A few people linger longer than usual, enjoying the cooler air. A couple walks home together, speaking softly. Somewhere, a dog barks once, then lies down again. The city feels safe. Mount Vesuvius is invisible now, hidden by darkness. No one misses it. No one thinks about it. It has never been part of the night, only the day's backdrop. If the ground shifts slightly beneath the city, it is barely noticed. A cup rattles, then stills. A sleeper turns over and continues dreaming. Nothing breaks, nothing burns, nothing calls for attention. Pompeii has lived through earthquakes before. The night offers no reason to be afraid. Watchmen patrol quietly. Lamps sway gently as they pass. Above the city, the sky is clear. Stars are sharp and steady. The air is warm but calm. Pompeii sleeps with the confidence of a city that believes in tomorrow. There is no fear in these streets tonight. No sense of urgency. No instinct to flee. Just rest. Just silence. Just the belief that morning will come as it always has. And so the city sleeps. Before dawn, Pompeii stirs, not fully awake, just shifting. Someone turns in their sleep. A lamp flickers as oil runs low. Somewhere in the city, an early baker rises, moving quietly so as not to wake others. The routines of morning are beginning, just as they always do. The air feels heavier now, warm but different, thick in a way that is hard to name. No one stops to think about it. Sensations like this are easy to ignore when they arrive without explanation. The streets remain empty. Doors stay closed. The city holds its breath, though no one is aware of it. Mount Vesuvius stands in the darkness beyond the rooftops, still unseen, still silent. For centuries, people have lived beside it, worked its soil, walked its paths, trusted its presence as part of the world's shape. No one knows that this is the final moment of normality. No one knows that these streets will never fill again, that these homes will never open their doors, that voices heard yesterday will soon vanish into silence. Pompeii believes in morning, believes in routine, believes in continuity. The sun is supposed to rise, shops are meant to open, life is meant to go on, but this morning will never arrive. History will remember Pompeii as a disaster, but this was not a city waiting to die. It was a city living. This was not a moment of panic. It was a moment of ordinary life, frozen just before it ended. This is your day inside history. And this was Pompeii.